Hi, I'm James Schillinglaw. I'm here at Nexion's Connection meeting here in Anaheim, California at Disneyland. And this has been a few years in coming because of some pandemic that I've heard about. And I'm here with a familiar face because we've done lots of interviews with her, Jackie Friedman, who's president of Nexion Travel Group. And we're going to talk about the implications of this conference, what Nexion is doing today, kind of the numbers, what's going on, and what the future looks like for the organization. It's one of the largest host agencies in the United States, and we're going to talk to, and Canada, and we're going to talk to Jackie about that and a whole lot more on Insider Travel Report. First of all, Jackie, it's great to be here. I didn't want to miss this one because we were all scheduled to be. I was with you last year, and this one. First of all, talk about this meeting. You have about 600 people here, right?
Yeah, it's so great to have everyone back. We have a total of about 600 people, advisors as well as supplier partners. So it's a great group.
And back to here in Disneyland, which we talked about a few years ago, and it didn't happen. Last year, we were actually on the other side of the country at Universal Orlando, but that was fun too. But here we are back where you were going to be. Now, let's talk a little bit about how you fared during this COVID period. And we've talked a bit about it before in other interviews, but this was kind of a real time to look at the numbers. How many travel advisors who are now affiliated with Nexion today?
In the U.S. and Canada, we have just over 5,100 advisors.
So, and did you lose a lot, or I think we talked about it. You actually gained some because more people came into the business who were newbies, right?
Yeah, no, we definitely gained more than we lost, and that surprised me somewhat. Like if you had asked me at the beginning of the pandemic, I would not have thought that. We did have some advisors that took a little pause from their business, right. But they never closed it, and they're back. And we continue to see folks come into the business. And one of the things that's really interesting is that folks that have been in 2 years or less, in some cases are so successsul because they didn't have to deal with cancellations.
That is an interesting aspect. I asked her, one of your rising star who we did an interview with, she's only been in the business for a little more than a year, and she's doing gangbuster business and all inclusives. Exactly. And she didn't know what it was like, so she didn't have all these future cruise credits or future tour credits or whatever that they're all starting to worry about now.
Yeah, no, so they really had a fresh start. It was also a great time for them to learn, and people realized, as did we, that travel was going to come back. It was just a matter of when. So these new folks coming into the industry could take the time and focus on learning the products that they wanted to sell so that they were ready when the business started coming back.
Well, they certainly were. So I assume you're saying, I think we basically had a net gain during the last few years.
We definitely had a net gain of 500, 600 advisors. So, we're definitely at or above 2019 in many sectors. So it's great to see that coming back.
And one of the things you did to help those advisors come on board is you really ramped up and changed your whole training and education programs, is my understanding. Is you went a lot more virtual and you added, right?
Right. Well, one of the things that we're blessed with is we are coming up to 10 years with our Travel Leaders of Tomorrow program. That was always a virtual campus new to the industry training program. So our business development and education team were gifted with virtual learning, and not just one-way presenting of information, but really engaging students in a virtual environment. So they already had those skills, and they were able to transfer those to many of Nexion's programs. And some of those things we've actually kept. So for example, our 5-day essentials program for new to the industry, we offer 6 a year, 3 of them live and 3 of them virtual, because there are some that can't get away for a week. And so this gave them the opportunity to get that training without having to travel.
Well, you definitely have, of all the hosts that I know, you have one of the most impressive and extensive training and education programs. A lot of different things, and even for your trained, your experienced agents, you have boot camps and things like that to kind of bring them back up to speed about certain things. Right?
Yeah, I mean, we have boot camps, which of course are great. We also have small focused specialty programs,
Right.
one for luxury,
Right.
one for groups, for marketing, for our corporate advisors. And next year we'll also have business planning sessions. So, things that not only focus on the hard skills like learning products and destinations, but also those soft skills like marketing and sales and social media, etc.
No, that's great because really that's essential because you got everybody trained up and ready to go as we come back strong.
Sure.
And I think that's the big issue. The real positive message from this conference is that everybody's coming back strong. I think stronger than many of us thought 22 would be, and 23 is looking even better.
It's interesting. We are recognizing the best of the best here at Connection. The number of folks that qualified for our Circle of Excellence is perhaps a record. I mean, it's definitely more than we had in 2019 by a few. We just passed it. And when you think of where they came from and what they had to go through, I couldn't be prouder of these folks because the theme that I'm hearing here is that they're busier than ever. Some of them kind of shifted their focus.
Mm-hmm.
They took advantage of really deciding what they wanted to be and where they wanted their business to go. And they're coming out of it better than they were before. So they took advantage of the time around some of the really difficult things they had to do in terms of dealing with cancellations and rebookings.
And we're finally getting that. Although a lot of suppliers here have now, moved the deadline for those FCCs and things another year, which is great. But what do you see going forward? I know that you're also very involved. You're on the board with ASTA, and obviously ASTA did a tremendous job during this whole period in helping to support your members because they got independent contractors classified who eligible for unemployment, which I'm sure was a big help to your members, I would think, right?
Absolutely. So, we look at where the growth is in our industry, and ASTA is a great indication of that. The independent contractor membership category or the small business category is hands down the fastest growing segment of the industry. So that bodes well for host agencies, and it bodes well for these new folks coming into the business. They tend to skew a little younger, which is great to see, and they're really savvy business people and entrepreneurs. And
well, that's the thing is, and we saw that trend. I mean, way back, I go back on this host agency thing. Back then, I remember a study back in 2003 which said home-based agents were, and we called them agents back then, not advisors, were the fastest growing segment of the distribution system, and that has only kept going. And I don't know what the current number is. I don't know if anybody knows, but I got to believe it's somewhere 55-60% are now independent contractors, and we don't call them necessarily home-based.
Right.
They're working wherever. Right?
It's interesting because for 2 years or so, most travel advisors were home-based. And where they work from, I think what we learned during the pandemic is that people can work from anywhere. So some folks even packed up and left their primary residence to somewhere else. And that virtual nomad, that the ability to work from anywhere really has helped our industry grow. But it also has appealed to bringing new people into the industry because they love that flexibility and freedom to own their own businesses, but not be locked into any one particular location that they have to go to the same time, every day.
They
love
have
that.
to be in front of a screen. You can go to anywhere, and you can work whenever you want. You're selling something people love. I used to say, my classic line was say, "What's a profession where you can work your own hours?" You can sell something that everybody loves.
Exactly.
You can travel, or you can use as much as your clients if possible, and you can earn maybe six figures. And someone said, "What is that job?" And I would say back then it was a travel agent. Now you say a travel advisor, and they look at you like some people look at like you're a little crazy.
Yeah.
And the answer is no, we're not crazy. It's exactly what it is, right?
It's so true. They're entrepreneurs, and they get that. They wear multiple hats. They know that, hey, I sell travel, and that's one of the things that I do, but I'm also focused on building the business. I like to say finding that balance between working on your business and working in your business. And from a supplier perspective, it's a segment that they are really, really interested in connecting with, because how often can you meet with frontline seller and business owner in the same person?
And that's what they always wanted. They wanted that frontline seller way back when I first got in the business. Now, I want to shift back to Nexion. And one of the things I think you want to highlight too is you really ramped up your marketing too, to help your members market, even first, get people interested in thinking about travel, and now obviously getting them back to actually booking, right?
Yeah, I mean, we really progressed, so early on in the pandemic, the approach was much softer, just getting people dreaming about travel again. But now we're back marketing in the same way. And we really focus on a couple of things. We're blessed to be affiliated with Travel Leaders Network, and they have great marketing programs.
You got the Internova parent company behind that, so you got a lot of strength and a lot of resources, right?
Correct. But what we wanted to do is we wanted to then differentiate ourselves over and above that. Mm-hmm. So we've layered our own marketing programs on top of that infrastructure. We have our Escape magazines, which come out 4 times a year, multi-supplier, and now we've started doing single supplier, beautiful multi-page magazines. We have our Escape Insider that's more tactical in nature, and that's all built on the infrastructure of Travel Leaders Network. We have great lead generation programs.
Well, Agent Profile, a profiler is the one I'm thinking of, where you can have a page on your for yourself on a website, and it really has worked because of the Google search. People find you that way, right?
Yeah, and it's really getting them to focus on their expertise and attracting clients that are looking for that expertise. So our marketing does 2 things. Number 1, keeps them front and center with their existing customers, and also helps them acquire new customers. Both are equally as important.
Absolutely. Well, it seems glad you're and you recognize that you had to ramp up marketing in this period. Now, what's the future hold for Nexion? Now, you've been here. How long have you been president now?
I started with Nexion in 2004, shortly after Sabre acquired us.
Wow, that's amazing. Well, I've been around that long too, so I really like that. But so what do you see the future for Nexion Travel Group?
We're going to continue to grow, and we're going to continue to bring new talent into the industry. We're going to continue to add value in helping established advisors take their businesses to the next level. And we're going to continue to build on this most amazing community that we've built. And I don't know about you. Can you feel it here?
Oh, yeah. Everyone I talk to, I mean, all the interviews I do, and this has been not just this one, it's been previous conferences before COVID. There's definitely a family feel. People are here because they like the community. They like each other. They do appreciate that. And I think it's largely due credit to you, Jackie, because I think, and your team, yes. Because you really have created this community of travel advisors that they don't want to leave. They like it.
Yeah. And, we learned early on that we're only going to be successful if our advisors can. And I know that sounds cliche, but it's totally true. We don't sell travel. None of my staff sell travel to consumers. So everything that we do is to prepare our advisors to be as successful as they want to be.
That's and great. And you can hear in the background as all the travel suppliers move out of the trade show, but it was a pretty big trade show, for this. So 600 people with the suppliers, very successful.
It was magic.
It was magic. It was a great thing. So I guess you're pretty happy about how all this has worked out, right?
You know what? I couldn't be prouder of my team for all the work. It's a labor of love, but also for the partners. Partnership is so important in this business, and you can't forget that. And so seeing them connecting with advisors who want to sell more of their product, just the quality of the conversations has been amazing.
Well, I mean, you get some very high-profile executives who come here as a host. They come to Travel Leaders Network as well, but they come to you as well. Yep. So it's kind of impressive that they want to go to both meetings because they connect with the frontline advisors here too.
Absolutely. And just for any supplier that might be watching this, I just want to thank you because we know that you've been through an awful lot the last couple of years, and we appreciate everything you did for us. And the best way for us to thank them is with our business. So
now, the last thing I want to ask you is there anything else you want to say both to your Nexion members and to people out there who might be looking to become a member of Nexion?
So first and foremost, whether you're a member of Nexion or not, I'm going to put my ASTA hat on for a minute. Is that okay?
That's okay.
So I'm the vice chair of the ASTA board of directors, and the work that ASTA has done for our industry and our sector of the industry has been instrumental. And we need you to support ASTA. They need the funding to be able to continue to do what they do. It gives you multiple benefits. They promote and defend, but there's also community there, the local chapter system. So that's one message I have for everybody. And then the last thing, to our Nexion members, I'm proud of you guys. You hung in there. You're doing better than you've done before, and you're having fun doing it, which is so great about our industry. And for anyone that's not a member of Nexion Travel Group and you want to find out what all the buzz is about, our sales team would love to hear from you. So just check out our website or email sales@nexion.com, and they'd be happy to talk to you more and see if we're a good fit for you and if you're a good fit for us.
Excellent. Well, Jackie, I want to thank you for taking time. I know it's been a busy conference for you. It seems like general session, trade show. We're moving all around. And then tonight's a free night, but then tomorrow we get to go to the parks. And I'm going to see you on one of those rides, right?
Perhaps.
No, I don't. Jackie is not that's one thing we decided a long time ago. Robbie Hamida, who's
loves it. Robbie does that. Right, I'll go on Pirates of the Caribbean, and it's a small world.
I'll go with that with you. Okay.
Okay.
So we'll see you on there. Deal. Again, thank you so much, and thank you for inviting me as always. And it's always a pleasure.
And he's James Shillinglaw, coming to you from Insider Travel Report.
Say no more. It's done.